How do you avoid the pitfall of accusation? I work with so many people who don't think they're being accusatory, and it is landing on the other side as accusation. It's a pitfall. The moment that I feel accused, I will start to defend myself. I'll be hurt. I'll start to be triggered, which means I have an emotional trigger. I'm no longer able to hear the content well. And I'll start to defend myself at the very least. If not, push back and accuse you. So how to avoid that pitfall of accusation? One important way: make a request. Make a request without all of the evidence and facts that give you a right to make the request. Same request. Okay? So instead of saying, well, I never know if I could trust you because for 5 years you've been, so I need to know that you're going to. So here I've given all this evidence of everything you've done wrong. I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying the facts. Well, that's not true, because here's the other thing to understand. Everyone's facts are different, right? If we have a neutral, which is the role we play in mediation, a neutral facilitator, we might be able to say something about what's happening watching from the outside. But for the two of you who are in it, and that's only maybe, by the way, for the two of you who are in it, we have perspective A and perspective B, and we've got to assume that you're both right, because here's the thing. You're both right from your own point of view. You're both right from your own point of view. So what is this teaching about? Make a request. Internally synthesize. What has been going on? What is the evidence you've seen? What is your point of view? How do you think something might play out? And request. So if we say, you're going to pick our child up on Tuesdays at school, I have a request that you're not late and that you would be sure to be on time. Is there some way we can make sure of that? Some way that I can support that, or some way that you know for yourself that you can do that? That's my request. Now, if it's implied in there that you have a trouble with time, you've always been late, you're not responsible, that's another story, and that's something we could address separately. But if you start from the request, I request that the children's bedtime stays consistent when they're at my house or your house. This would be better for them, going to school, making sure they're focused and don't have behavior problems. Would that be okay? See, my request ending with are you with me? Can you cooperate with this? Would that be okay? Because even though you don't think the answer no would be okay, if we don't let the other person know that we care about their perception, we're not going to get very far. We're going to generate conflict. And what we want to do is generate cooperation. So avoid the pitfall of accusation. Lead with a request without all of the evidence of why you need this request, all of these things he or she's done that make you want this. Just the request. And then tack onto that, how can we do that? Or would that be okay? Or what do you think? Engender cooperative response. It may not happen. You're only one side of this skillful communications dyad game. But we want it to become more of a team effort as much as possible. And these are skills we use as facilitators in mediation, but these are also skills you can use with yourself right at home, whether you're working on staying together better, whether you're dealing with a workplace to build a sense of team and colleagueship and ease around your workplace, whether it's about your best friend, your sister, your brother, or your mother. These are the same principles. Avoid the pitfall of accusation. Lead with a request. Do the internal reckoning of what makes you have this request. All of the harsh things they've done or wrong things they've done or misunderstandings that have brought you to this moment, do all the reckoning inside. So there's no or less chance that an accusation is now being felt by the other. Don't have to defend your request or even evidence the reason for your request. Make the request and then follow it to add to the chance that you're not in the pitfall of accusation. Follow the request with, would that be okay? Could you do that? Could we figure out a way for that to happen? Is there any way I can help? That we could agree to that we could say yes to my request. Is there something I could do? You're engendering the feeling of cooperation by ending with that invitation question, beginning with your clear request without all the evidence. 2 important points to avoid the pitfall of the other party feeling accused.